Alright, moving on to our next Patreon request, and this one comes from Swift Blitz, and they asked me to do my top 5 favorite adult cartoons. As always, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below. Head on over to my Patreon. You guys can hit the 3rd tier, and you guys can then start sending requests for videos to do here on YouTube. But other than that, let's get started with the video. So, this is going to be like most of my list, where it's not really in order. It's just my 5 favorite, and I figured this would be kind of cool to do. They did ask me to. There was a list not too long ago of like top 10 Nickelodeon cartoons, so this is like just top 5 favorite adult shows. And again, if you think if you don't hear like one you like on here, this is just my personal opinion. I'm always excited to hear what you guys have to say. In the comments. God, I really need coffee. Anyway, so yeah, also, we're not going to do anime. This is cartoons specifically, so there will be no anime in this list. Like, at all. So yeah, just to let you guys know, we're not doing any... if it was, it'd be just chock full of anime. But we're doing cartoons specifically. So first and foremost, and again, no order in these top 5. In these 5, I know I said top 5, but it's no order. So starting off with the list is one that's recently come out, and that's Primal. Primal from Gennady Tartakovsky really opened the door for all these other, shows to come out on Adult Swim. Like, again, we've had shows like Invincible Fight Girl and other shows in the pipework that are more action-oriented than they are, like adult comedies. So, Primal, also, my dumb monkey brain is like, ooh, dinosaurs! And yes, I know it's horribly inaccurate, but, like, it's a fantasy world, and the closest thing we'll ever get to a Conan the Barbarian animated series. So, honestly, it doesn't really bother me that it's inaccurate. But yeah, and also, how cool would it be to see Gennady Tartakovsky's Conan the Barbarian? Like, come on, guys! It's clearly in season 2. It was. You can clearly see in season 2 of Primal, especially the inspiration for from Conan the Barbarian. Anyway, yeah, it's a great show. It has amazing action sequences, great storytelling without dialogue. I think it has... I can't wait for what they're going to do with Season 3. We know it's in production as of this recording. So, I don't know what they're going to do, but I am very excited to see what they got planned in the pipeworks for this show. I am just in absolute awe that we're going to get something, really special from Tartakovsky. So Primal, was gonna be on this list no matter what. Next up, we're gonna go a little funnier. We're gonna go a little funnier with this one, and that is none other than The Simpsons. I've loved The Simpsons since I was a little kid. I have followed that show and watched it way younger than I should have, honestly. I love what can I say about The Simpsons? And also, I'm not one of these people, by the way, I should probably mention this as well, is that I'm not one of these people who are like, The Simpsons should have ended X amount of years, or I stopped watching The Simpsons X amount. Yeah, I'm not following The Simpsons consistently, but yeah, I still like watching the episodes. I mean, but I'm not one of those people who are like, The Simpsons aren't funny anymore, and I stopped watching after, like, season whatever the fuck. No. The Simpsons are literally part of American history at this point. Like, it's the longest-running cartoon, longest-running show of all time. So, yeah, there is definitely, there is definitely a lot of, there's a reason why it's still there. Like, I know people say, like, oh, The Simpsons should have been canceled, then why is it still going? Why is it still going? You gotta ask yourself that question. If people aren't watching it, like, if people aren't watching this show in some form or another, then why the fuck is this show still going? You really have to ask yourself that question. I mean, a lot of people are still watching it, I guess. Hell, there's a whole land. Like, do you ever think we'd get a whole, like, there'd ever be a Simpsons land at Universal Studios? It may be gone soon, and make way for Pokemon if the rumors are to be true, which is fine, but yeah. The fact that, like, I can go to a place where they have a little Springfield in a theme park says a lot about the cartoon. Yeah. So, there you go. Our second one. My second favorite adult cartoon. Next up for, animated series, Futurama. I always dug Futurama, just the quick wit, the sharp humor, the satirical look at the future, which is slowly becoming that future, Jesus Christ, and, man, I love the writing in Futurama. It's very clear Matt Groening clearly had a lot more love of doing Futurama than he did with Simpsons, and even though, yes, Simpsons got his foot in the door, it really does feel like at times that The Simpsons were, like, his real baby. I mean, Futurama was his, like, almost, like, real baby to him. But, yeah. So, Futurama, our third one. Our fourth show, this one I'm gonna kind of skirt the rules a bit, because I feel like it was made in America, but it did have a South Korean and Japanese production crew behind it, but it's still under an American banner. So I think I'm going to bend the rules on this one, and that is Castlevania. Castlevania was a show that really, like, kicked open the door for all these new, like, edgy, not edgy, but more like adult storytelling without, fart and vomit humor, or just being really mean-spirited jokes. Castlevania really broke the mold and allowed other video game cartoons to show up, like Dragon Age, Tomb Raider, Devil May Cry is coming soon, to varying degrees of success with a lot of these cartoon anime kind of shows with video games, to varying degrees of success, but still, they are, Castlevania was the one that really kicked open the door, and is not the biggest fan of Castlevania. The show was incredibly engaging. The voice cast was amazing. The stories themselves. Season 3 was a little weak, but I still think they just didn't know what to do, and you're just kind of like, well, what do you do in a world without your main villain gone, and how do you pick the pieces up afterwards? So, but Castlevania really has one of the strongest endings of any of these shows. With Season 4. I still need to catch up with Nocturne, but that first Castlevania series was just epic. It was just a brilliant show. So Castlevania. And finally, to round out this list, we're gonna go with a I had it and I lost it. Like I said, I should really drink coffee if I'm going to do these videos this early in the morning. Our last show we're going to talk about is our last show that we're going to talk about in terms of adult cartoons. This one I think is gonna be kind of contentious, because I don't like the show per se. I don't really like the show per se, but there are enough skits, and those first few seasons were good enough. Those first, like, 4 seasons are solid, that it does need some recognition, and that's Family Guy. Family Guy, again, the show's garbage. Like, how I don't have that same kind of, like, oh, Family Guy can keep going forever. No, it's not like with this. I have that same kind of connection with The Simpsons, where it's like, I don't know if I want to see a world where The Simpsons are gone. I mean, it's gonna happen one day, but, like, every year I'm like, oh my god, why is Family Guy still here? But those first few seasons, and there are, like, there are enough skits in between where I enjoy it. I don't watch Family Guy anymore, but it's something I can come back to on, like, little snippets, but the show's so fucking mean-spirited. It's so, like, if I was to have a list, it wouldn't be on here, but I'm pulling stuff out of my ass, because there isn't a lot of good adult animated shows that really make me go, ta-da! Actually, no. Fuck Family Guy. I'm going to do an instant change on this list. It's my video, my rules. So fuck it. I'm going to change it because why didn't I think of this sooner? Fuck Family Guy. That's off the list. And here's the one, my first adult animated show that I really enjoyed. Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Why didn't I think of it sooner? Because I need fucking coffee. Yeah, so Family Guy can fuck off. We're going to replace it with Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Aqua Teen Hunger Force is dumb, stupid, obnoxious, and I fucking love it. It's so unhinged. There's great jokes in it. I quote Carl, one line from Carl where he's just like, "It don't matter. None of this matters." All of my life, I have quoted that consistently. Whenever something bad happens, I just go, "It don't matter. None of this matters." Constantly. Carl is my spirit animal, just an angry, bitter man. The only difference is he's a filthy Giants fan, but whatever. I said what I said. So there you go. There you go, guys. Those are my 5 favorite adult animated shows. You guys tell me in the comments below. What are your 5 favorite adult animated shows? Just let me know in the comments below. Once again, I'd like to thank SwiftBlitz for this Patreon request and continued patronage. And like I said, if you'd like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon, hit the 3rd tier, and that'll allow you access to do so. But other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.